possible. But when we finish it, it's gonna be 76 feet high. It's gonna be 8 lanes. That's infrastructure development. Once you do that, that's going to increase traffic flow and it's going to help I-10 area. You go any place in the state, or go to Texas, Interstate 10 has got business on both sides. I want to see the same thing happening in North Lake Charles. But you do that by doing the economic development district, but we got it approved, and now we got a 1 cent sales tax so we get passed, and every one of them that's been done, Nelson Market, Market Field, Salyer, they all had a 1 cent sales tax. So we got the same thing in the economic development district in North Lake Charles.
And we have a rebuttal from Mr. Guidry, yes. 30 seconds.
That North Development Board that my opponent talks about, but he doesn't mention much about is that 1% sales tax. Why are you taxing people that's in poverty right now in North Lake Charles? How can they pay for that? You're gonna leave the community and drive 3-4 blocks to buy a carton of milk when you gotta get taxed for it in your district? I'm having a hard time with that. And we talk about the I-10 bridge. We only have right now $1.6 billion for that bridge. That bridge is going to cost $2.
Mr. Carter, do you have a rebuttal? If so, before
Yes.
standing,
Yes.
please signal to me.
Yes.
So Mr. Carter has a rebuttal, and we'll go ahead and go with him.
Every economic development district exists in Capture Parish right now. Morgan Field, Nelson Market, with Stein Lumberyard and all that, the development down there. Salyer, Callier, and all that stuff down on Salyer Street. They all got a 1 cent sales tax, baby. We gonna do the 1 cent sales tax. We paying tax right now. You go to Morgan Field, you go to Nelson Road, you paying extra sales tax for those areas. We're gonna do the same thing in North Lake Charles to develop our area.
Thank you for your rebuttal. We'll move on to the next question. We're gonna start with Mr. Lewis. Given Louisiana's susceptibility to natural disasters, how do you plan to improve disaster preparedness in the state?
Yeah, that's a very easy question for me because I come out of the police department. So basically, continue doing what we're doing. Whenever we know that a hurricane is coming this way, we have to get with our civil defense, which is Dick Grimion. We always meet with all the city, parish officials to make sure that we do everything possible to prepare for the incoming storm. You as citizens also have to take a responsibility. You need to evacuate when they say it's time to leave, okay? Because we as police officers who have to stay behind after all these storms, you know, we have to also make sure that you all are safe, the ones who choose to stay in their homes. So basically what I want to do is make sure that number one, everybody evacuates. Number two, I want to make sure that I got feet on the ground the day after the storm, and I have some resources coming in to make sure I take care of our citizens here in Lake Charles. I've noticed, like, every time a storm happens. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. We'll now go to Mr. Carter with the same question.
The state of Louisiana sent $100 million to Capture Parish and Lake Charles after the storm. They start their own restore program. What they did with the money, that's up for your police, jury, and city council, you ask them, okay? But we spend money. Also, we have FEMA's trying to build wind-resistant houses. Every time a hurricane comes, all the projects and all the houses are damaged. So we need to build wind-resistant houses. Some houses can stand 150 miles an hour wind. That's what we're trying to do with Economic Development District, contract with them to build houses in these vacant lots and let people, low-income people, buy those houses, not rent. So we need to continue funding the parish and the city to make sure they got money to clean out these drainage and these ditches as soon after the storm happens. And we will continue to do that if I'm in the legislature.
Thank you, Mr. Guidry.
Remember, but I think Louisiana. Every time it happens, it's like we're surprised. They happen all the time. Why don't we have things in place? The first thing that I would do when I'm your state representative, I want to have a center.